Note: this is episode 3 of the Fire Emblem Revelations Rewrite series. If you have not watched part 1 or part 2 yet, pause this and watch it with the little info card in the top right. I appreciate your time and I want to pay it back with giving a comprehensive experience. Now, let's get to the show. For Chapter 14, the group needs to cross the sea in order to reach their target of Windmire. Thanks to the treasuries of both Hoshido and Nora being fully accessible, the group has no issues buying the boat and supplies it needs to make it across. About halfway along their journey, the ship is hit by a cannonball, by a thieves ship captained by none other than Shora. Recognizing your eyes, Shora relapses onto some old memories, and comes to the conclusion that the only way that he can escape those memories is by drowning you. So, he fires a couple more cannonballs and creates an escape situation. At the end of turn 10 on the map, the boat you were originally on will be completely underwater, becoming more and more submerged per turn. If any of your allies are still on the boat come turn 10, those allies will be dead, even in casual mode. From there, you will need to rout the enemy, and put allies into certain spots on the other ship, corresponding with the spots you started on. In order to recruit Shora, you need to land the final hit on Shora with anyone besides Corrin. If you land the final hit with Corrin, you'll be given a pseudo-choice to kill him or not, to which he'll jump ship and drown despite your choice. Admittedly, this is just a filler chapter and a way to recruit Shora, but there was no other way to really work him in besides that, so anyway, let's continue off the rest of the story with Chapter 15. After landing in Nora and making their passage, the group makes their way into Windmire with the help of Camilla and Elise. The journey there is awfully quiet, and the group starts getting more and more anxious. Once they reach the town square, they encounter Leo, his retainers, and Nyx, who ensure a sword-ready Ryoma that he is not there to fight them, rather that Leo left the castle to try to clear his head and figure out everything that's going on with Garen. Leo knows there's something different about Garen. He's just not exactly sure what. Takumi and Azora start to explain things to him when they get ambushed by Iago, or rather, Iago's illusion. Even though Iago isn't there in person, the magic cast is real, and thanks to Anankos, he's able to take momentary control of Takumi. Knowing she couldn't risk sinning again so soon after the last time, Azora gets Leo to try to break the spell. The spell is at first too much for Leo, but after Nyx comes out of the shadows to assist Leo, the spell is broken and Takumi is back to being the pineapple head that he is. During this time, Iago and his illusion leave, but what is among them are a total 30 Gorgon eggs and 5 death goyles. In order to clear the map, you must kill off all 30 eggs and the 5 death goyles. While the eggs impose no immediate threat, players of Sacred Stones know the Gorgon Egg chapter could be one of the most frustrating chapters in the game should any of the eggs hatch. Players will need to act swiftly in order to ensure no one is harmed and take out the death goyles in an effective manner. Once the enemies are cleared, Leo reveals the underground passage that Elise showed him to leave the castle, taking them directly to Castle Krakenburg. In Chapter 16, the group makes their way to Castle Krakenburg to try to save Xander and take down Garen. This chapter is basically 3 chapters rolled into one, much like a last chapter with 2 endgames instead of 1. In Part 1, the group has to plow their way through hordes of faceless and escape within 17 turns to make it into the castle. Much like Chapter 21 of Conquest, except that Lilith doesn't die here and you're actually tested. If you do not make your way by the 17th turn, every unit on the field will die. This chapter is royal exclusive, meaning your units will be Corrin, Azora, Ryoma, Hinoka, Takumi, Sakura, Camilla, Leo, and Elise. It is wise to move swiftly and get out of the room as swiftly as possible to avoid any possible casualties. After Part 1, the group moves into Part 2, which takes place in the main hall. In this chapter, Xander appears, but much to the distraught of everyone, Iago has him under strict control via illusion. Among Xander are 7 Gorgon eggs in every Norian enemy class. including the Necromancer seen all the way back in the Ice Tribe chapter. Who isn't under Iago's control are Charlotte and Xander's retainers Laszlo and Perry, all of whom were accompanying Xander but simply weren't able to ward off Iago. You recruit the 3 of them at the start of the chapter, and you'll definitely need most of them in order to recruit Xander. To recruit Xander, the player must have both his retainers, all 3 of his siblings, and Corrin talk to Xander in order to sway Iago's influence. Xander will not go after his siblings, but will go after his retainers and Corrin, so caution is advised. In order to clear the map, you must kill Iago's illusion. Since it isn't the real Iago, it won't be all that difficult to take him down, but due to how difficult it'll be to recruit Xander and the hordes of enemies that stand in your way while trying to do so, this chapter portion will be quite the testament. After you clear this portion, your team makes its way towards the throne room for part 3. In part 3, all you need to do is kill both Iago and Garen. In your way will be a bunch of enemies, mostly monsters save for a few necromancers. Making its first appearance in this game are the Draco zombies, 2 of which serve as a first gate boss. Once the Draco zombies are dead, the player will move into a second segmented section with Iago and a whole bunch of faceless, and, once cleared, will lead into a small room with only Garen. A cutscene will play where his skin peels right off and, instead of being a slime monster, Garen is a black dragon. And as scary as this dragon looks, it is nothing more but a mere construct by an Ankos. Garen can only be damaged by the royals, and any non-royal character will be instantly one-shot before they can move should you try to attack Garen with any of them. Once Garen goes down, the chapter is finally over. Xander recounts the tales of Garen's wrath while everyone else evacuates, and remarks about how he knew Garen wasn't the same man, but just couldn't pin it on what happened. Azora hints she has the answer, but tells the group that she cannot spill all the information here, and can only do so in, quote, the other kingdom. Xander demands answers, but Azora keeps repeating that she cannot discuss that information here. It takes the work of all 8 of the other royals to convince Xander to trust her. To which Xander replies, "If you betray my trust, I will strike you down faster than father struck down Arette." Not realizing that was Azora's mother, Azora runs off crying and Xander chases her down to comfort her. While the 2 are gone, Corrin rallies everyone to gather their courage for the trip ahead. Realizing they need just a little bit more strength though, Corrin leads the group to Notre Sagesse on the recommendation of Leo. In Chapter 17, the group arrives at Notre Sagesse, and immediately approach the elder that is the Rainbow Sage in disguise. The Rainbow Sage is a bit flustered by the group approaching him like that, but tells the group that if they wish to get stronger, they must beat the Sevenfold Sanctuary. In the Sanctuary, there are copies of every character recruited so far laying as enemies, with a copy of Corrin standing as the final boss. All copies will be placed at level 10 and be promoted, with unpromoted units receiving one of their promotions randomly. In the room before the boss room, Mozu will be in her merchant class and holding 1 elixir at level 15. On the first turn, the camera will pan to her and she'll say, "Come on, Mozu. You could do this. They're just phantoms that smell like goats. We need to do this for the village. For Mama." While she's more than capable of holding her own, the group will need to make their way to Mozu as quickly as possible and not let her die. If Mozu is the last unit left to recruit, Corrin will remark that he's happy that his quest to unite 2 warring nations was successful, but knows there's still work to be done. The final room will have copies of the 4 royal princes and a copy of Corrin. Once all 5 of these enemies are defeated, the group will clear the map. Before the Rainbow Sage passes on, he will reveal to the group that he was waiting for someone strong enough to carry out his wish. He will then power up all the weapons, bringing Corrin's Yato straight up to an Omega Yato, and upping the might of Ryoma's, Takami's, Hinoka's, Sakura's, Xander's, Leo's, Camilla's, and Elise's weapons by 4. Once that is done, The Rainbow Sage will look at Azora and say, "Listen, I know who you are, and I know who your mother is. I know who your true father is. I want you to listen to me. You saw it yourself with Garen. No one is truly as they seem. Your group, they're fighting for what's right, to save the world. Long ago, I created the weapons the men are holding now to help fight my brothers. The weapons your sisters hold? Those are Moro's. He sought to balance me out, but alas, we all harmed each other in the end. Sometimes you need to fight to create peace. But fighting too much can cause devastation, and not enough fighting can create chaos. If anyone can do it, it's you, kid. Now, listen to me one last time. You must go kill your uncle. I know it's gonna be hard, but you have to. For everyone. Go to Vala and kill Anankos. Because the Rainbow Sage muttered the kingdom's name out loud and Anankos' name to boot, the Rainbow Sage quickly evaporates and leaves Azora slightly devastated, but more determined than ever. After wiping away a few tears, Azora looks at the group and proclaims they need to make their way to the bottomless canyon and to forget about anything they may have heard about the changing skies, because that, in her words, is simply a dead old man's tale, which stands as a small jab at Gunter. And with that, that's the end of part 3. What'd you guys think? Did you guys like it? Hate it? Let me know down in the comments. I gotta say, I'm super excited that the next video is going to be the end of Arc 1, which means we can head into Arc 2, and I'm very excited about Arc 2, so yeah. If you guys want to check it out, I have a whole bunch of links down in the description, including to my Twitter, my Patreon page, to my artists that help out with this series, all sorts of stuff. And with that, I'm going to say thank you. Feel free to check me out on my Twitch when I'm streaming there. I put up little announcement videos when I'm doing that. So, yeah. Thank you guys for stopping by, and until next time, this is Joeypals signing out. See ya!